And we're back. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Oh my God,
You
Kevin.
had some good games, man. I watched all three.
Really?
They all looked really fun.
I really enjoyed the games. I struggle with the evaluation piece.
Okay.
I don't know how well or poorly they went. I felt like in order it went, Witch Doctor game was the best, then Spirit Breaker, then Enchantress.
Um, I would have. Yeah, I guess your Witch Doctor game was the best. I would say the ganks you did were better, the Witch Doctor game, but I think Spirit Breaker was a close second. I think you actually did very good that game. You definitely had some feeds sometimes, but
Yeah.
your the amount of pressure you did in that game was huge. You actually did a lot in that game to affect the outcome positively. Like
I
good
think that
90% kill participation. That's insane. That's so high.
yeah, I actually think I missed. I think it was closer to 80 because I looked at the other team's kill number, but it was still pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I have almost whenever I'm not actively doing something in the game,
Yeah.
I have this sensation that I'm doing something horribly wrong. And like with Lena, it's never a problem because I can just blow up creeps so fast and I feel fine.
Hmm.
But like there were several times in that Spirit Breaker game where I wandered here, wandered there, wandered back, wandered here. I don't know if you had the audio on it, but I was
Yeah,
saying like
listening.
I'm wandering around doing nothing. I don't know if I think I'm doing nothing right now, and I really struggle to know if those situations were good or bad.
Okay.
Um, Witch
Um,
Doctor I felt the most comfortable with because I was aware that I really did not need to be aggressively farming that much. But with Spirit Breaker and Enchantress, I know it's definitely valuable to get a lot of gold. So
yeah. And Enchantress has trouble pushing. Witch Doctor can do it okay. Spirit Breaker can do it okay. I mean, that's probably part of the reason that it felt uncomfortable is because if nobody on your team pushes lanes, then unless you like smoke with your team and run to their side of the map, you're not going to have opportunities to actually initiate, and that's why you were doing nothing. So either if you were hitting jungle creeps during that time period with some regen items to make sure that was fine, or if your
yeah,
allies push lanes better and you could keep like putting pressure on your opponents, that's where things would get easier. Or what you could do is smoke deep into the enemy jungle, like one of the times you gank, while putting wards down. That way,
mm,
in the next like 7 minutes or whatever, you'll see where their heroes are more likely, so you'll feel more confident to actually cross the river, even if your lanes
yeah.
aren't as pushed. So it's kind of a mix of many, many things, really, of all three aspects. So I took like a stupid amount of clips during your Earthshaker
Yes.
one, or your Spirit Breaker one. It was the main one, but oh, come on.
Oh my God. See, I got my animal. You got your animal. Look at this cat. She's just like getting ready to go to sleep,
I,
man.
I,
It's
I
perfect.
wish she would just go to sleep, man. Just want to give her another, just dump a bag of treats in her mouth. Is that one
Yeah,
solution?
that'll teach her. That'll train her
That'll get
good.
her to do stuff. Okay, so this was your Enchantress game, if you can think back. Before we get
Yep.
started, I think why don't you talk about this game as a whole? Because you already generalized them a bit, but I
Yeah.
definitely felt like you were being more active and you were looking for opportunities, and you definitely pressured lanes more. I think.
I feel a lot more comfort doing this in the first 15 minutes of the game with
Okay.
Enchantress. Not with all heroes, but specifically with Enchantress, I feel really comfortable with these sorts of ganks. Just, I mean, controlling a few dudes just feels fine to me.
Okay.
So, I really enjoy this. For me, it's like after 20 minutes, I remember feeling very confused and unsure about what I was doing, which is exactly the same thing that I was saying in the previous actually when we first started doing the coaching session at like 1 p.m. Like same feeling of I'm not really sure what to do. My ganks I was able to execute better because I just had a whole bunch of lists that I was going through in my head, which was really helpful.
That's good. Yeah, I definitely could see some of the stuff, and I think as a whole, you put your ganks together pretty well. The give me your mistakes you think that you made here. If you see
I mean,
anything.
I meant for all those to go on the high ground,
Yeah,
but once I
that's the
was
biggest
halfway
one.
through, I was like, all right, well, whatever. The other one was I think technically I could have not netted first, but
Uh
tried
huh.
to slam and then net. But the red man was a little bit behind, and my
Yeah.
mindset here was I need to do as fast as possible. And at the very least, was deliberate
Uh huh.
to throw that down first, and then to come up from behind with all my junk. So I don't know. I guess that would be the biggest criticism I would
Um,
put there.
I think the gank itself was okay. I think the biggest mistake is letting your Hellbear Smasher die. If you recast Enchant on one of your creeps, you get the duration again. I don't know if you knew this or not. I feel like you didn't because you never do it.
I did not know that. Does it just say it right there in the tooltip?
I mean, it's kind of a recent addition in the last like 2 years or something, last year maybe.
Oh
But
my.
I like a lot of times you would basically you'd limit your ability to continue ganking. Like if they still had mana and they still had some HP, it's worth keeping them
Holy
because you could
shit.
basically go from this gank and
Oh
instantly
my
run
God,
bottom
it
and gank
says it
again.
right fucking there. I had no idea. That's
So
amazing.
I think that hurts your tempo a lot. Do you feel like you ganked enough this game as
I
Enchantress?
felt okay about the number of ganks that I did in the first, God, I want to say 12, 13, 14 minutes. And then
Okay.
I felt very bland and confused after that.
Okay. I think you did not gank enough. I thought that you would feel like you felt like you ganked enough, but the reality is you had a little. Part of it was the creep uptime thing, the fact that your creeps would die, and that would really affect your ability to do gank to gank. Like for example, the
Yes,
previous gank
yes.
was like what 140, and here's your next gank at like 5 minutes. You basically just
Yeah.
kind of power farmed a lot, which normally is okay, but you could also affect lanes and power farm. Like even sometimes you could just enchant a weak creep and send it to the mid lane to harass the Lina. You don't even have to be there, or there could be a tornado creep or something like that. You know, there's
Yeah.
many options.
It's because I can say that for sure the big reason why it took me so long here was that that was again a pathing thing where accidentally my Hellbear went above.
Hmm.
But I was waiting to get good creeps and I kept getting tornado guys and bubble men.
Yeah. I don't
I
be
think
afraid to gank with
satyrs
those
and
though.
something.
Don't be
Okay.
afraid to gank the satyrs. Satyrs are really good. Do you know how much damage their nuke does?
It's 100?
It's
20?
160.
Really?
That's like a level 2 nuke. And it's like a six
Yeah.
second cooldown or something. You
Mhm.
basically just roll in with two of them and you just double. Everybody calls it Hadoken. You just double Hadoken and then just right click people and they die. And it gives you like a 5 HP
Yeah.
regen aura or something. It's
God, I
actually
got
quite good.
that's insane. Like the ability to re-enchant is actually inspiringly awesome because that means that I can just get the dudes that I want and I'm totally fine.
Yeah. There was one thing you could have done here, even with the Pathium Mystic, to kill this guy. Any idea?
I guess body blocked.
Yeah, body block to guarantee the Centaur stun, and then you would have definitely gotten the kill because you would have had
Yeah,
2 seconds to do the clap.
because
But
the big thing that happened right there was the once my Hellbear went around to the other side, I mentally fell apart. I remember this one where I was like, oh shit.
yeah, and then you think
Like
like, oh, control that, no wait, control this, and then you forget about your hero. As a whole, you do
exactly.
that pretty well compared to most players, so I wouldn't worry about that aspect too much. Here's another gank that you did mid. This one was pretty good. This is I guess your third gank, but this one was actually successful. I like the
Yeah.
initiation. Even having the Wildkin there is completely fine. I like that. So I think one problem that you had this game actually, and this is kind of an issue with Enchantress sometimes, is that she's kind of bad at taking towers in a lot of ways. Like she's very good at
Yeah.
pressuring early lanes, but
Yeah.
she doesn't clear creep waves very fast unless she has creeps.
Mhm.
And in late game situations, you can't push waves, you can't take towers very rapidly because you don't have time to grab the creeps. So what you need to do sometimes when you get kills like this is just push like crazy, if possible. And in a lot of these situations, you'd get the kill and be like, "I did my job," and then you'd run back
Yep.
to the jungle,
Yep.
and then nothing would actually happen on the map very much. And you guys never created as many pathways to get kills. Remember what the vision was like at night with the towers? Imagine if
Man.
half those towers are gone, and it gets even worse. You know, less vision, more paths that you can go somewhere, things like that.
It's so funny. There's all these things that literally do not occur to me yet. It feels so hero to hero. Like I'm not thinking about I'm a Dota player trying to achieve a win in Dota.
Yeah,
Like I'm Lena, therefore I'm good at clearing waves and I can clear waves quickly to clear towers.
yeah.
I'm Enchantress. I'm good at ganking and picking people off. And it literally did not occur to me that after a gank I would ever push a tower like that. Even
Yeah.
though that sounds totally obvious right now. Like in the moment it just doesn't click.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Like you said, Enchantress's power curve feels a little bad late game, at least like in the 30 to 50 minute mark or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Try to make that power curve last longer by taking more towers and keeping your advantage up. It's a great way to do it. Okay, so this is a point that I probably should have gone over when I taught you here, but this morning. But you're sitting mid for a while with the Centaur, and you're looking to
Yeah.
initiate. And the problem was basically she killed the creeps too fast, and you lost your window. So this is another aspect of like you're waiting for the perfect moment, but against heroes like Lina or Shadow Fiend, they
Yeah.
just nuke the wave so fast that you lose your window sometimes, and therefore waste your time.
Makes total sense.
And if you look at your KDA right now, you had 2 assists. So we're basically at 9 minutes. I think you might have done a little bit more in this time period, but you basically only had 2 successful ganks. For 10 minutes, I feel like that's too little. And if we look at maybe the start of the game, let's take a look at the lanes really quick. If you take a look at the minimap. So it's an Invoker
Yeah.
versus Alina. Definitely gankable, right?
Yep.
The other lane is a Sniper and a Warlock versus an Ursa. Do
Or
you
I
feel
think
like
it
that's
was Warlock bottom, wasn't it? No, it was
uh
Centaur bottom. I'm sorry,
yes,
I'm confusing it with another game. The matchup was they were against an Ursa. Um,
probably with the Winter Wyvern, I would guess.
that doesn't feel very gankable to me.
That one's a
Um,
little hard.
yeah, I mean the Winter Wyvern being able to do the ice block
Yeah,
is
exactly.
super sick, and Ursa can also just turn shit upon me.
Yeah, I would agree. So I would say the place you should have pressured more was the Earthshaker. I
Yeah,
think you could have ruined this guy's life because he's basically a support, and if he's in the safe lane solo and it pushes out at all, like look how much space there is for you to swing in from the backside. Like any of these angles, you just walk behind
dude.
him, land one
Yeah,
disable, and Centaur's gonna follow up with a stomp and a double edge, basically output like 400 magic damage. Like
I gotta say, it is revolutionary to me that you can re-enchant the same creep. That's
still
spectacular.
thinking about that.
I can't even, well, because my mindset was whatever creeps I have, I will take the best possible opportunity and
Yeah.
do stuff with them. And so, you saw me get birds and just instantly toss them onto ancients.
Hmm.
Because I was like, well, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
But God, I can just keep bubble men and net men.
But you definitely got a couple good kills. And I did like that you're rotating around. You definitely impacted the game very well. Talk to me about your Yule's Scepter.
That was largely because of Ursa and Wraith King, because Wraith
Okay.
King has the blink and Ursa has the shit on me no matter what ability
Yeah.
that has infinite attack damage. So I thought, well, Drums of Endurance is kind of good for doing some early fighting pushing, and
Yeah.
that's typically what I go. But in this game, I just thought, I'm just going to get Yule's because that's a good way to get Ursa off me.
At first, I was negative of it, but I think it was a good choice. I think I would have maybe liked one other transitionary item, like even just like a bracer or something to make drums afterwards might have been cool. But I did like the Yules, because once he jumps on you, there's basically no way you disable him or slow him down before he kills you. So Yules was a good choice. And once you figured out that you can Yules yourself after you get Yules by Lena, then it basically solved the Lena problem as well in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And I'm actually curious, what were the initial feelings that made you think negatively of it?
It's a very low HP. It basically makes you super vulnerable to the Lena, no matter what. Before you finish it, especially, and even once you finish it, if you get stunned once, you just die. And that was definitely a problem you had a lot. And normally it wouldn't be as big of an issue, but they had so many stuns. Like Earthshaker is stun heavy, extremely stun heavy, plus a Wraith King, plus the Lena. Like if you get stunned once, in a lot of cases, you were just gonna die. So
Yeah, I don't even know if I should get a BKB in this game.
it wouldn't have been a terrible idea, I don't think. Could have definitely worked. So this is one of those cases where you should have probably just pushed instead. You basically came down here. You can see like 3 heroes on the map. You killed the catapult and back to the jungle. And somebody did actually TP right away, but put some damage on the tower.
Yeah.
And if that guy doesn't show up, or if he shows up right away, whatever, then you can run into the jungle because you're like, okay, this isn't going to work. But I think pressuring the lanes like that or just cutting creep waves is the best thing you can do. So you could do things like that with Wildkins, like gank a lane, then put the position the Wildkin like behind the tier 1, drop down the tornado, wait for the creep wave to approach, and then walk the tornado with it. That way the creep wave dies faster, which means the creeps hit the tower faster. Like that's the kind of stuff. That's the easiest and safest way for you to take a tower is to grab a creep with AoE to deal with it in an obnoxious area that your opponents don't want to go to.
Yeah. Also, I cannot believe the tower can hit me from where I was standing there. That is crazy. There's this like perfect slit there, like right there.
Do you know what this means?
That Lena can see me for certain.
Yeah. Therefore.
Yeah, I mean, I was just very surprised that I could be seen at all. So.
Do you know why? I mean, there's a ward basically. There's 100% a ward over here somewhere, or an invis.
Oh, I thought it was literally the line through the trees was it.
Doesn't see through this. This is a path like this. It curves up. This is all contained, and then it splits this way and this way. There's no way this tower can see you without a ward. So there's probably... Actually, I can see it on the map because of the bugged replay. Maybe... Is that your ward? I think it's right here. The ward's like right here, based on the map.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the ward is like right here. So I would have predicted maybe over here, or I would have predicted right here. So I actually might have missed it myself, but this one's really weird. Maybe it's on the cliff, not sure. Either way, the Invoker went a little bit early with the Cold Snap. I honestly don't even know if she saw you. But that was like the typical, your ally went too early kind of thing.
Yeah.
You had some issues here with animation canceling as well. Watch how long you spent casting Enchant. Maybe you could have enchanted quickly and killed her. Maybe. Maybe not. Probably not. But and honestly, the rest of the game was probably not that worth covering.
Okay.
In terms of ganking, it was, at this point you're into late game already, more or less. So
Correct me if I'm wrong.
it's not that good
I
game.
have felt like I have huge power early on, and then I felt a little flimsy late. Based on everything we've said, it sounds like if I do a much better job ganking and get more kills early, then this will smooth that feeling out a lot. And I'll
Easily.
probably feel a lot less impactful late game, but the way to solve my late game problems is by being more aggressive early game.
Yeah, and having more map and lane pressure. Like if Earthshaker had been killed more times or something, like he's positive right now, but if you had just killed him like 2 or 3 times, that's going to propel your Centaur to get a really fast blink dagger, and then Centaur can go around the map doing things with a blink, stomp, double edge. So just by like ganking his lane 2 times or 3 times, or like crapping on the Earthshaker and then killing the Lina, then killing the Earthshaker, then killing the Lina,
God
then
damn,
all of a
this
sudden
is...
it's just like a jungle Wraith King and like an Ursa that are farmed, and you would increase your Invoker's farm
I
and your
swear to
Centaur's.
God, it just did not click for me, the impact of being able to knock down towers early after ganks.
It's
I mean,
huge.
it sounds so obvious because I'm used to being in the lane, having someone help me gank, and then I push as a carry or as mid.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And then with that tower dead, like look how far, like basically anything past this line on the minimap is just, oops, I'm mouse in the wrong place. I'm looking at XSplit. Basically any part past here to the right is just all danger zone now. So now they don't even feel comfortable farming this large camp anymore, because if they do, they're already like, they're as close to their shrine as actually you're closer to the tower, really. So it's like closer to your allies. Like this is now your camp basically by taking that tower. So
that
they
is
can
so
really only
sick.
farm like maybe these camps here.
Oh God, I want to play another game, dude. Oh my God, I can't wait.
It's a good sign. Good sign. So that was first game. Talk to me about the Spirit Breaker game.
Okay, so here was I can describe the beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
So early game, my thought process was, okay, I'm sharing a lane with a Legion commander. I want levels. He wants levels. I probably shouldn't just sit and camp. I should probably actually try to do some roaming and go around and fuck with the other lanes to make sure that there's a slightly better distribution of XP. And I think it's probably better for Legion Commander to get these levels early because we can still coordinate if I'm not level 6 when he is level 6. So I tried to march around quite a bit and do stuff, which I think was very fortunate because it gave you all sorts of clips to do.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
mid-game, my plan was wander around and try to look for targets to set up with this Legion Commander. And
Okay.
then late game, I just did usual Clown Man.
I like your assessment. The only thing that I think was wrong is that you're kind of talking about how you would roam during the laning stage, but
Yeah.
we're 3 minutes in. You basically been here the whole time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I want to correct your understanding of how you actually played compared to how you feel you played, because I think your logic made sense, but you didn't actually roam. Roaming is more like you leave the lane very often, but this was like you didn't leave your lane until like 4 minutes. So
Oh, really?
it's
Well,
slightly
because I
different.
thought I rotated back over to the rune and then down.
Did you?
Did I not?
Maybe you did.
Let me actually reload the game because I actually don't remember
You
it.
may have. You certainly might have.
I
I
mean,
kind of
but
remember that a bit now.
does that?
But you did spend a lot of time in the lane, I know.
Yeah.
At 4 minutes, you definitely left. I thought you did a really good job approaching your ganks mid. I could see a huge difference. I mean, every gank of yours was, especially this game, was mostly the same. Run to this area, charge down. But I like that you did that compared to just running right at him. Because, like, imagine, like, the vision difference. If you charge in, he'll see you right here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, instantly once you get to the creep wave. So, talk to me about this gank. What do you think you guys could have done better?
I did not see Witch Doctor coming on the minimap, so I think I would have told him, do not come yet, do not show. I think that was the biggest thing that went wrong here, is he just waltzed right up.
So if you do know he's coming, how would you combo this?
If I do know he was coming, I think that I should be the first one to charge, and the goal should be to try to get the Donkey Cask onto the catapult or whatever back creep. So just like wait a sec, have me charge, that sets up the cask, which then sets up a whole bunch of Invoker Blast.
I don't think that's realistic.
Okay.
Because if the Witch Doctor comes from this way, he's going to be spotted by the tower, and by then Puck is going to be away from the building. And it's also kind of unreliable to try to charge into the Puck when he has phase shift. In fact, he actually used phase shift right there. That was probably when you should have charged.
Yeah, I was waiting for phase shift and or bubble to go off.
Well, it went right here. Phase shift right there.
Yeah. And
So-
I didn't do it right then because, I don't know, it just seemed weird to instantly charge that. Maybe that's wrong.
I think it would have been good. He maybe still could have orbed. Or what you can do basically is, let's say you actually knew the Witch Doctor was here and approaching. what you could do is start your charge, and right when you're about to get there, the Invoker could cold snap the puck, which may stun him to ensure that he was stunned while your charge lands. And then before your charge stun ends, the Witch Doctor would follow up with another stun. So you guys would have like about 3 seconds of stun, which certainly could be enough to kill him, especially with a Maledict.
So I have 2 units in bash and that, or in charge, and that was an accident.
Yeah, I heard that. It's okay.
So
it's kind of bad, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Extra stun duration is actually good this game because Puck has like an easy escape. He just phase shifts. So and against heroes like Puck or other blink heroes or escape heroes, you generally actually want more charge usually. But in pubs, I would still recommend going a little bit more bash heavy. So it was fine, no big deal. This one was great. Charge through the trees, you're invisible, all that stuff.
Yes, let's watch him die. I was trying to wait right for that creep, like when he was trying to go for that creep, I think. Yeah.
See, that's basically what I said for last game, or last gank. Just cold snap as it commits. I think for a ranged hero like that, you don't have to worry as much, but it's okay that you still did it, because his focus definitely would be on the creeps. And here's like, what I thought was really interesting about this game was this was about the first time that I saw you do a boring Spirit Breaker gank all game. Whereas the last couple times that we've watched your Spirit Breaker games, this is every fucking gank. Every single gank. It's like, I'm in the fountain, I see a hero, I will charge him. And you just go straight in. So I just wanted to include this one to bring that up, because you see how different it was in terms of gank potential? It's like...
Did we kill him?
No, because this guy is a terrible skill build. He went 3 points in passive. He should have more nuke.
Gank number 3 mid. Oh my god, so many clips, so many clippoos. I think that maybe going for Puck a lot early is good, and then when we're later in the game, I shouldn't, because it's so fucking hard to kill that asshole.
And even still, like, he's definitely very difficult to kill. You were successful, I would say, a good amount of times, but normally when you're playing a gank hero like this and you're trying to gank a Puck, most players are just like, nope, I'll gank a different lane. Not even gonna bother. But the fact that you're successful was really good. You know what would be another fun thing that you could do, actually, is rather than charging directly at him... You getting high right now?
Yeah, no, I'm going to put a little PCP in my eyes just so I really soak in the ganking data. My eyes got really dry, so I got to moisturize. Woo!
Another thing you could maybe do that'd be kind of cute is rather than charging at the Puck, you could charge a creep in front of him instead. That way, even if he phase shifts, there's maybe a chance that your AoE hits him rather than the direct.
Interesting.
There's a chance... I don't know. I haven't tried it before. Maybe it'd be worth it.
I need to play against more Pucks. Actually, I probably need to play with Puck so I get a sense of what his strengths and weaknesses are, because like I did not realize the Dream Coil could stun me that easily.
Well, I mean, most of the time you walked out of it is why it stunned you easy, but...
Yeah, but I mean, like, the distance to walk out of it, like, everything about how it worked and, like, how the stun happened. I, like, not know that the stun worked. Gotcha. When I first got stunned by it, and then I was like, I read the tooltip and I was like, all right, don't walk out of it, and then I just like kept getting stunned by it. So Puck to me felt like this invincible ultra power guy.
He is really hard to kill, but his damage can be, it's very bursty, and it's a little bit hard to land, and he definitely needs some farm to be effective. This moment I kind of wanted to point at because I thought it was a decent chance to actually maybe kill the Enigma here. Mm-hmm. He only had Soul Ring, I think. You had Orb of Venom as well. The Eidolons are definitely a threat. I didn't think you reacted very well to this. I wouldn't have charged the Centaur. What you should have done probably is charge the Creep. Yeah. That way you bash him on the way through, and then you're closer to escape. Because basically you took the longest path of escape while still being in the danger zone, which was, by the time the charge ends, you're on the wrong side. If you went to the other side by doing this, it would have been worth it. But see, his stun duration's done, and you're still there basically. He maybe even could have stunned you. And then this was just Midnight Pulse killing you guys both, and Double Edge too. But
Midnight Pulse, but strong ability.
Maybe you could kill Enigma there. Maybe if you got a little lucky. But maybe he just would have Black Holed you or something like that. This is just a vision problem. I don't know what level your charge is here. Unfortunately, I didn't have you selected when I took the clip. But if you did have detection, you should have ultied in instantly, like not even attack afterwards. Any other situation, totally attack afterwards. But against an evasive hero like Puck, that could be KB or Phase Shift or whatever, you gotta cast your ult immediately. But just wanted to use it as an example, just a small thing. Oh, and another thing. Let's talk about your itemization order.
Okay, so normally I am off lane alone, and I like to get my power treads first. I like just power treads and orb of venom early on to do harassment.
Okay.
And I don't really have a good feel for what to get my first three, or what the order of the first three items is. Typically, I go for no stick or a stick, depending on the lane, but primarily just getting power treads right away.
Okay.
And this game, I vaguely tried to do that, and then got wand, and then got urn. But I mean, I didn't have a very strong opinion about it, honestly.
So the reason that I think that's a mistake what you did is because you've been a part of 10 kills so far, and you're just now building an urn.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I'm concerned, that's less time going to fountain. That's more effective ganks or easier to execute ganks. And I think if you're solo off lane, you can probably get away with treads first because you're going to get it rapidly. You're the one getting last hits. But this game you played sort of support because you were laning with a legion.
Yes, definitely.
So I think what you needed to do is shave off the treads because you weren't going to be a higher level than people. You were basically already under leveled consistently, not like super, but a little. Which means trading with them isn't as easy. You're going to hit 6 later, so the treads won't even get you to a point where you get an easy kill. You should have just shaved off treads and gone for like fast urn, like brown boots, orb of venom, urn, wand. Totally fine for support. You don't need treads really bad. They're like the tread switching is kind of a waste because you don't really need mana that much on SB. And if you just had urn, you already have like an extra 120 HP and an extra 6 damage, and most importantly, the actual nuke itself. So I would have liked it if you got urn first, then went back for treads maybe.
Like urn wand treads.
Yeah, urn wand brown boots is like that's like the best support build, man. Covers like everything almost every support needs. Okay, next clip. This one was a bit of a bad dive. This was basically Puck.
I remember this one. This is me like, I hope you die.
And
this one was so funny, man. He juked us so hard, man. Oh god.
Yeah, acquisition range. They see you coming. Obviously, they knew that the fight was happening, but he gets out of this because of the problem. And then you guys all walked into Midnight Pulse again. I saw that later in the game you understood what Midnight Pulse did, right? But at this point, I don't think you understand.
Understanding is that now it deals damage.
Deals pure damage, and it goes through BKB. It's really good.
Ooh, damn.
I like this. You angled from the side. I think I needed to pause this one. He basically blinked forward and then dueled the puck to initiate. I thought that was a smart way to do it. Another way that you could have... do you know the other way that you could have done this reliably?
What do you mean, done this reliably?
To have a better chance of him not using phase shift before he realizes you guys are ganking him.
I mean, just walk up and R-click?
Yeah, that was my thought. He might be in range, he might see you, but if he phases, it doesn't go through. And if he doesn't phase, he definitely gets stunned. So that could have been another option if needed.
Oh, so if I hit R and he phases, my R is still going to be up when he comes back, right?
Yeah,
so
it'll just cancel it. It's not like the Witch Doctor ulti, basically, because this is like you can't if you cancel this, it doesn't go through. If it gets cast and the person is still there in reality and still able to like channel, it basically just has a really long cast animation that if you don't finish casting it, it doesn't go through.
Yeah.
And this was the point that you just now got your urn at 15 minutes. Like the value of urn is already still really, really good this game, but definitely lessened. You misplayed this fight pretty severely. Do you know why? Or how?
Can you rewind back to the start?
Let's slow this down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're charging the puck. Got killed.
Yeah. And then immediately went down here.
Yep.
And, I have no idea.
You have no idea what you did wrong?
Maybe I didn't need to charge, but no. Kevin, I have no idea what I did wrong.
This is a bit of like an identifying what to do in teamfight thing, but when you guys start the fight with a kill like this, you guys are obviously winning, right? I guess you don't have Witch Doctor here, which sucks, but the charge ended up going on the next most important person, which is a great teamfight hero on Enigma. So what you needed to do was probably hit this guy once and then cast your ult.
Oh, yeah.
Just to ensure that he was chain stunned and to buy your team time to spread out if they need to avoid getting black holed. And what also would have saved you is if you actually just casted Urn on this guy, his black hole would have been interrupted because he already had Cold Snap on him. So any source of damage to Enigma would have stunned him.
Huh.
Cold Snap right there. Urn on him. He would have channeled for like 1 and then boom, it would have stopped. And you guys could have maybe won the fight. So yeah, when you're playing Spirit Breaker in more of a support role, you can't just like roll in and like blow somebody up every time like you do core. So if you're playing support, it's more about like disabling the important heroes, maybe interrupting important abilities, that kind of thing. And you didn't do that very effectively there. And then this is when you discovered Maledict might be good.
Oh my
It was
God.
very convenient that he was in the same game.
Oh, it was?
I mean that it was the game before that you got a feel for him a little bit before the game.
Jesus, it's so good, man. It does so much damage.
This is a great charge on the Centaur, but now you're kind of this is basically a gank mistake as far as I'm concerned. Channeling ulti, see how it got cancelled? Same as what happens with phase.
Yeah, totally.
Out of range, phased, whatever. So mistake you made here. You didn't interrupt the blink enough. As soon as you hit him here, his countdown goes 3 seconds. Easiest way is just cast Earn. And that's why Earn was so OP this game, like so goddamn OP. It's because if you look at their heroes, they have literally 4 blink daggers. Yeah. So, and if you're like, hey, we're taking a team fight, the best thing you can ever do is if you see like Axe standing on the outside of the team fight being like, I'm going to wait till they group up as 5 or Enigma, just cast Earn on them, because then you know for 8 seconds that guy can't use his blink dagger. It's so OP.
Damn.
Same thing with Orb of Venom.
Oh my God. Also did not occur to me. I mean, it's like when you say it, it's like totally obvious, but hold on, let me put my eyeball back in. Ah, yes, excellent. I can see. Yeah, I mean, I historically have just gotten Earn because the game said get the Earn.
Yeah.
And then so I just started to play with an Earn and just hit C on people when I can remember it. I had 8 charges like most of this game.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit, using it to deny blinks. God,
so
that's
X right
insane.
here. He's just sitting here waiting to initiate. Or you could walk forward and cast on the Enigma, or...
God, that's such a great goal. Oh!
I liked how you did this with the approach with the Shadow Blade. One thing that you could have done here, actually, is use Charge to break Lincolns while letting the Legion duel people.
This is what I was constantly trying to do all game long.
You're actually on cooldown. So I think the reason it's difficult for you is because you basically have to coordinate with what you expect your ally to do. And you haven't played enough games to know when it's the right time for Legion to go in. Plus, I couldn't believe he actually walked in. If he didn't have Aegis, that was like the worst thing I've ever seen. But if you know when he's supposed to go in, then you can be like, he's about to go in. I can feel it. Like, he should be going in, so he's probably going to go in. And then you would react to that by breaking the Lincolns at the right time. This is another case where if you use this on Puck, maybe it would break his Blink Dagger. Probably not, because you can phase for over 3 seconds to stop the damage while he's there, but it was an option. And you didn't keep mind of your spell cooldowns. You could have started charging here, 100%.
I was looking for someone to charge.
You were not? Is that what you said?
No, I was. They were just dipping out of range.
And but the puck was like right here.
Vision. Yeah. I don't know where it was. I just like used it. And then he like showed up in the minimap somewhere down there, and I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. So this is that moment where you actually broke his Lincolns right at the start here.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I should go in. If you just time that well, like imagine if a pro did that. It's basically like Puck's farming, and all of a sudden he's dueled like instantly. That's one good thing about you this game with having an SB. And then you sold Earn, which I thought was absolutely a mistake. I would easily sell Wand this game because of the ability to cancel Blink Daggers mostly.
Yeah, makes sense now as you said Blink, but I mean I have to get Heart of Taras. That
do you?
Is so awesome. Oh no, of course we must get a Heart of Taras whenever we can.
Okay, all right. Keep in mind that Enigma's big like Midnight Pulse ability, it does damage based on a percentage of your max health.
Good lord.
So getting a heart is slightly bad this game, but not. I wouldn't say you should let that discourage you to not get it. All right, that's enough of Spirit Breaker. Mini clips there. Now, Witch Doctor, some guy in chat said that you shouldn't get Maledict. I corrected him. No worries. I handled that one.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
No, I took care of it. It was all good.
Yeah, dude, I looked and I was like, Maledict level 1 is cool. And it was. I mean, that is the most insane ability. Like, they put that in Dota. Can you believe that? That's insane.
Yeah, back in Dota 1, actually, this ability was actually very difficult to use. The cast range was like this. It was like 300 units or something. And it was this tiny little AoE. And now it's been buffed over the years. Great ability. You didn't really play around wind runs super well this game, but at least in the laning stage, but you did a pretty good job. And I think what was remarkable about this game was I could really see the difference in how you... I feel like I taught you how to pull and grab runes and stuff like that in the first couple episodes. But now I feel like you know the other side of the coin, which is killing the offlaner. Because like I've told you to harass the offlaner, kill the offlaner, but you didn't really know how to approach it. You didn't know when to go in.
Yeah.
But I felt like this game, you totally knew how to take control of that and be like, oh, I can just try to kill the offlaner here and be effective at it. So I was really happy to see that because it feels like you can be more dynamic in your early game decision making, which was good. This was the only big mistake I thought you made in the laning stage was that rather than go try to kill this guy, you walked over here to grab a bounty rune, and then by the time you were there, it wasn't even there. So you were like,
and then I lost my opportunity to kill the guy, and I was kind of like, rare.
Yeah, exactly. Which should always be the most important thing. Kill the kill the offlaner if you can. If you can't do that, zone the offlaner. Then you worry about yourself. So small mistake there. I don't know. We can just include this for fun. You canceled your ulti by right-clicking the Wind Ranger.
All the time. All the time.
Oh, every time? Okay.
I did it, I believe, 4 times this game.
You weren't gonna.
I was just baffled. I did not understand what was happening at this moment in time.
Did you ignore the tree? Did you know that the Death Ward still will miss as well?
No.
If he uses Wind Run, it still won't hit because it.
That's right. It's physical damage.
Just as an attack. Well, don't say it's. You shouldn't say it's physical damage. You should say it's like a regular attack projectile.
It functions like an attack that happens to also deal physical damage.
Exactly.
Although physical damage is not the reason why it's missing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think your skill build's relatively okay. I've done this many times. Sometimes it's kind of a mistake to not get in a point of heal, especially with Arcane Boots, because Arcane Boots gives you the mana to give you the heal, kind of. But you played this all pretty well. I like this. Stun's not very good for chasing, but sometimes it's effective. This is the same fight, basically. I would have probably just ultied right there, most likely.
I think I cancel it in just a second here. Yeah, no, I cancel.
Fun fact about for the last hit. You wanted to style on him, be like, I could have killed you with my ulti, but I'm actually gonna right. I'm sure he felt that. Fun fact about Death Ward: it used to work in Chronosphere, so Void Witch Doctor was really popular, and then they made sure that Death Ward doesn't attack while Chrono if you place it within Chrono. So if you would have placed it there, it would have been canceled.
Yeah. Someone in chat was saying that earlier.
This moment. Remember this?
Yes, I remember this fight.
So do you think you could have done this better? What do you think you should have done instead?
Oh, it should just become invisible.
Yeah. Maledict does apply through BKB. It doesn't do the damage until his BKB ends, but it applies at least. So it actually did a lot at the end, especially right there. So you still actually contributed a lot, but yeah, certainly go invis. You can cast Death Ward and then cast the amulet on yourself. It doesn't interrupt channeling. The Shadow Amulet doesn't, and Glimmer Cape does not, I don't believe. So you can cast it, wait until things get scary, and then cast it if you want.
This character is insane.
And since nobody buys detection,
yeah, of course,
you can literally kill any hero.
Kevin.
You can kill any hero that can't go magic immune, instantly invisible, or I don't know.
Wait, so if they BKB, my Death Ward still deals damage, right?
It does, but the Maledict doesn't.
Oh, it's still crazy awesome. Oh my god, this character. Enchantress, Witch Doctor. Jesus, Kevin. Fuck!
Witch Doctor is a really good hero if you're playing a Smurf, low MMR, because you can very easily scale. Like, you can dominate your lane, then you can just turn into, like, a ganking hero, and eventually you're a core, more or less. And if you take a look at the KDA, you actually had the top score all game. At least on your team, but overall, pretty much absolutely the case. All right, let's. Do you remember this little engagement?
Yes. Okay, so if you pause it right before we watch it, I felt like we would definitely be able to kill Lifestealer. I remember looking at this and going, I think I can just Maledict shoot him.
Do you feel like that's still valid?
I don't know, but I am sharing, though, my recollection of the things that I thought at the time.
Okay. I would say unlikely because of the fact that Lifestealer is always going to be able to just rage. I mean, he's definitely activating things late, but he's very difficult to kill. He's just slapping you and he's getting heals mostly. You also burn through your whole mana pool. I think what would have been really smart as you approach this, drop the Arcane Boots, pop wand, pick it up again, and then take the fight. Because you're at a point with mana pool where you can barely cycle all your spells. In fact, you can't really, only if you pop the wand. And you also can't use Glimmer. But if you were able to use Glimmer as well, you could have maybe made things happen. So you had to be choicey here. So I think what I maybe would have done, I might have, looking at it now, I think maybe you should have just thrown the stun on the Lifestealer. If he rages, it doesn't stun him, but it still bounces off. I think that would have been the good move. Or you could just Maledict, ulti, Glimmer Cape. Could also work. Like right there, you could have done it maybe. Perhaps. You were just
Makes
a little
sense.
bit short to get the
I gotta say,
clone.
I think that was the first deliberate Death Ward that I did the entire game
That you
without
didn't
canceling it.
without canceling. Super
Yeah,
proud of you.
I was really excited about it. I was really happy about this fight.
Yeah, it was good. I wish you would have ultied like a second earlier, but other than that, it was great. It's definitely very, very effective. Yeah, the double maledict was so nice. Helped a lot.
Yeah, oh my God. I was literally just watching them receive damage. I was not paying attention to anything. I was like, holy shit, they're dying quickly. And then you'll know once they die, then I go, oh yeah, no, I have an ultimate, don't I?
Yeah, and then you messed up your death ward. That was really annoying.
At least that guy died.
And the void was it's a fun guy to play with.
Yeah, that guy was. He had a lot of emotions at all points in time
Oh.
and compulsively shared them.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you didn't mute that guy. I was like listening. I'm like, that guy's still talking.
Yeah.
I have a friend like that.
Dude, but you see that? He issued an apology to me
Did he?
in the
How
game,
so?
yeah.
What did he say?
Because he was raging at the start of the game, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Don't
yeah.
worry about it, man. It's all good, etc." And then he's like, "Oh, sorry, And I was like, "Holy, oh, look at that! It came around."
That's good.
And then he
That's
just went back to
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Clip wise, but as a whole, a huge improvement. I think I would say out of all the lessons we've done so far, I think this is the one that you've easily like taken the knowledge and instantly executed it, like shown the improvement. You know, like normally I'll like present all these ideas and things, and you'll be like, okay, I'm supposed to do these things better, but it'll be like a kind of a
It'll be 3 weeks.
it'll be a little bit of pulling teeth, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is pretty much just instant execution of, hey, I can just walk the other way and we can get a kill.
Yeah.
So that was
Dude,
good.
killing fools feels
Alright.
nice.
So we're gonna take a quick 2-minute break while we look for a game, and then we'll be back. And
I'm
we'll
gonna
play
use
a
the
pub.
restroom. Yeah.
Okay, see you guys in a bit.